Okay. So let's have a quick recap what we have discussed in the last session. In the last session, we have discussed about the introduction about Azure, and we have discussed about what are the things we are going to learn in this particular training, the course content, we have the duration, all those things we have discussed in our previous session. In today's session, we are going to start with how we can create our Azure account. But before creation of Azure account, I'm going to share the WhatsApp group link in the chat box. If you are not there in the WhatsApp group, you can please join the WhatsApp group using the link which I've shared in the chat box. And I'm sharing my teammate numbers also. If you have any question, you can contact them also. And I'm going to even share the course content link in the chat. So I've shared the links. If you have anything, you can check these links also. Or if you have any question before starting of this topic, you can please raise your hand also. Yes, Suresh.
Azure admin, right? Like this course content, right?
Correct. This is Azure admin course content.
Okay. Because like I thought like this today is a first class. That's why like so like you're going to send me like like if I continue, you're going to send me the first class recording, right?
We have already shared this day one recording in our WhatsApp group. They will share again in the WhatsApp group. My team will share it again after this session.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Are you in the WhatsApp group, Suresh?
No, not yet. This is the first class I'm attending.
No, as I have shared the WhatsApp group link in the chat box.
Yes. I'm going to join in there.
So please join that group. In the same group, my team will share the day one recording again and day two recording also. They will share in the WhatsApp group.
Sure.
Okay. Any more questions, Suresh?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Charan Teja, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, now are you able to hear?
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah, this is regarding job purpose. So Azure admin is only sufficient for that or need to add any more skill?
If you want a better package, Charan, then I'm suggesting you after Azure admin, you can go with Azure DevOps also.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So Azure,
If
okay.
Azure admin is also sufficient, but definitely if you go with one single thing, you get a less package. If you want a better package and more opportunities, then you can go with Azure DevOps also after that.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more questions, Charan?
No.
Yes, Anwar.
Hi, Ankit. How soon the recording will be available if you are missing any classes?
Within 2 to 3 hours, the recordings is going to upload in our website.
Okay. Thank you, Ankit.
Okay. Day one, day two, day three recording we are going to share with all of you. And
Okay.
after that, the recordings is only going to share with the paid candidates.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And
Yes,
I have
sir.
one.
Yes, Anwar.
Yeah. So, like, what are the like? If I'm going for, I see that you have already uploaded the recording in YouTube. So, like, what are the if you are comparing this, content in this, what to say, in this topic, and if I wanted to take the exam, what are the things I need to be, I mean, concentrating while taking the exam? Like, I know that you are going to share the dump. Like, if you're comparing both the course content to take the exam, what are the things I should be concentrating more?
Those things you will get information in upcoming sessions.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Vinod.
Hi, Ankit. I mean, are there any prerequisites for this course that we need to be aware of?
No, there is no prerequisite. Whatever the things we require, we are covering in this particular training. Only basic
Oh.
Linux is required. That is part of our course content also.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone have any more questions? Yes, Shekhar.
Ankita, just now I joined. Actually, what is this 6 p.m.? Just I want to understand what is that 6 p.m. that you're going to start, or
Sorry, can you please repeat your question, Shekhar?
just now I saw that the screenshot 6 p.m. that Azure DevOps something I saw here. What is this going on, or what is your discussion?
6 p.m. already batch is going on Azure DevOps. Someone was asking yesterday about
Okay.
Azure DevOps. So I informed them the 6 p.m. batch is already going on for Azure DevOps.
Okay. When did it started? Yesterday or?
Not yesterday, just a minute. I don't remember the start date. Let me tell you the start date.
Okay. Okay. It's okay.
Just a minute. 5th of June. So it's
Okay.
already a 1 month today.
Okay. Next, when it's going to start after finishing this one, or?
After finishing of this one, we'll start Azure DevOps batch at same time.
We can attend both morning this one and evening that one. It's okay, or it will any
It's already 18 sessions completed, Shekhar.
No, not now. After completion of that batch, you are going to start new batch, right?
Whenever I'll plan, definitely yes. If your time permits, definitely Shekhar, yes, you can join that. Parallelly also you can join.
That's
Make
right.
sure my
If you join-
suggestion is,
Yeah.
if you're joining both the batches, make sure you have practice. You have time for practice, Shekhar.
Okay.
Okay, if you have time permits, then you can go with parallelly or go one by.
Okay.
Okay, because practice is more important, Shekhar.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you are not doing practice, definitely you're not able to understand those concepts.
Okay.
Okay, by just watching the video, no, we are thinking that we are able to understand the concept. No, this is a wrong assumption. Till that time we are not doing practice, we are not able to understand the concept.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understood. Main practice is main actually.
Yes, so that's my suggestion, not for you, for everyone. Practice it is important. Okay, Shekhar.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Okay. Anyone have any more questions? Yes, Adela, you can unmute.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. I wish to ask, I've seen on the screen talk of Azure DevOps and DevOps. What's the difference between the two? Are we going to pay them differently, or is involved on
No, these
the
are two
payment?
different courses. Right now, the one which we are starting right now, the which we are joining, this is Azure admin course.
Yeah.
After that, the next step is you can go with Azure DevOps also. It's a different course.
Okay.
So both are different courses. Okay.
Okay.
The one which you are joining right now is Azure admin.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll start learning about how we can create our Azure account. To create your Azure account, first you need to go to this particular link. The link which is mentioned in my PPT, I'm going to share this particular link in the chat box with you, all of you. I've shared this particular link. Click on start. So go to this particular link and you need to click on start free. And to create your Azure account, you can use any email ID, whichever you want to use. You can use your Gmail ID, you can use your Yahoo, any email ID, whichever you want to use, you can use it. But make sure you are going to use your personal email IDs, not your official email IDs. So enter that particular, click on start free. And then when you click on start free, you need to click on create one. Once you click on create one, you need to enter your email ID. Can be any email ID. I've already informed you can use Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, Hotmail, any email ID, whichever you want, you can enter that. And then click on next. Once you click on next, here you can enter any minimum 8 characters password you can enter, which is having some number, characters you can enter, and alphanumeric values also you can enter your password here. Minimum size of password needs to be 8 characters. Once you enter your password, you need to click on next. Once you click on next, you will get one OTP on your email ID. That particular code you need to enter the OTP which you are going to receive on your email to validate your email ID. Once you enter your OTP, you need to click on next. Now, here you need to enter your personal details. You need to enter your first name. If you have any middle name, you can enter that, but it is optional. And then you can enter your last. System will pick your email address from the previous step, which we have done. System will automatically pick from there. And here you need to enter your mobile number also. And here you need to validate your mobile number. You can validate your mobile number by using text me or call. So whichever the option you want to choose, you can choose that. And then you will get an OTP to validate your mobile. Once you enter an OTP, you need to enter your address. Now, this is very important. Your address needs to be exact same as your bank account. The address you need to enter here needs to exact same as your bank account. Let's take example here. Whenever we are writing, we are writing like this flat number 4, comma. Like this we are writing. But in our bank account, it is mentioned as flat 4. So which one is correct for us? For us, this one is correct. But as per Azure, this one is correct. So you need to enter your address here as per your bank account. So first you need to enter address line 1. If your address is in line 2 and line 3, you can enter here also. City, state, postal. So then you can check those terms and conditions and click on next. Once you click on next, here you need to enter your card details. And it supports Visa and MasterCard. In India, a lot of people might have RuPay card also. It does not support RuPay card. So you need to enter your Visa or Master credit or debit card you can enter here. But make sure whatever the card details you are entering here, your debit or credit card, it is enabled with international transactions. You don't need to enable transaction for thousands of rupees, just for 100 rupees or 10 rupees you can enable it. Because just to validate your card, they are going to take 2 rupees from your account, and the 2 rupees also you will get a refund in 3 to 5 working days. So your card holder name, card number, expiry details, and CVV you need to enter. Once you validate your card details within 1 to 2 hours, or sometimes within 10 minutes also, your account is going to activate. And once you log into your account, you can click on subscriptions. And here you will find a subscription called free trial. Let me show you my account also. Let me enter the code. Now, here I'm able to log into my account. Here I'm able to see the subscription in the below. Click on that. Here is my subscription. This is my subscription and the account which I'm using. This account I have created few days before. And if you see here in the pop-up, I'm getting it how much credit is pending it. 15,680 rupees 79 credit is pending. And this credit we are getting it for 30 days only. So once the 30 days is going to complete, this credit is going to automatically get expired. So we are getting a credit of 15,800 from their side. So this is how you can create your Azure account. For first 30 days, your subscription will be free trial. After that, you can upgrade your subscription to pay as you go. And it doesn't mean that if you're going to upgrade as pay as you go, you need to start paying it. In previous session, I have informed you after 30 days also, you are getting a free quota of 12 months. So if you are going to use those services which are coming under a free quota, we are not going to charge you for those things. So this is how you can create your Azure. Any question anyone have regarding the account creation? Please let me. Yes, Bhattacharya, you can unmute.
Yes, Ankit, good morning.
Good morning.
One thing when I'm creating the Azure account, it's showing organization. So what should I put there?
You can put our institute name, Logical Labs Technologies.
Okay.
Okay, you can put those things also. Okay.
Yes.
Any more questions?
Not right now. I'll let you know if I have.
Sure. Anyone have any more questions? Yes, Charan. Yes, Charan, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, you told just now after 1 month also it is going to be used for 12 months. So how it is used? Can you please repeat?
So once your 30 days is going to complete, you need to upgrade your subscription to pay as you go. And if you're using, whenever you're using any service, and if you're that particular service coming under free quota, and under that particular service, if you're using that free quota type, which they have assigned, then they are not going to charge you. Okay, Charan?
Okay.
Any more questions?
No.
Yes, Radhashik.
Ankit, so after adding card details, how to remove that card details from the account?
You don't need to remove your card details. As per RBA rules, they are not going to save your card details.
Yeah. Okay. So like
Yes.
if you want to
in the, if you want to remove from this Azure account means you have to unsubscribe, right? From that subscription.
They are not going as per RBI rules. They are not going to save your card details.
Okay.
So you don't need to remove your card details. Whenever you want to pay, you need to every time enter your card details.
Okay, fine. In that
These
case.
are the rules from RBI.
Yeah. Recently updated. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, Ankit.
These are not recently updated. In the September 2022, we got these rules.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Casper, you can unmute.
Prof, I have account on my, when I click on it, it's showing a different authentication. So it cannot, it's showing a card authentication because I have my sister, I've been using my card, I don't know why.
Sorry, I'm not able to understand your question. Can you please repeat?
When we are creating the account, when I click start free, it's showing I should authenticate, it's showing with my sister name, Universal Calgary authentication.
Do one thing, try to open this particular link in the private window. You know, here it can open it, then you will not get those, because whenever we are logging with our Windows machine, we already log in with one of the Microsoft account. So this is trying to pick that particular account also. So always try to open your Azure account in the private windows. So it will be easy for you to practice it also if you're using some other email ID.
It's really difficult. I've tried the things to go back there. So
that's why I'm saying try to open the URL in the private window and try to create your account by using private tab, private window. Definitely you will not face those issues.
okay.
Okay. Because it is trying to pick your account, the one which is login with your system. Okay, that is why if you might be noticed here, I have logged in my Azure account in the private window. I have opened it. I'm not using a normal window because I'm using some other email ID here. And in my system, I have logged in with other email ID. So that is why I have opened it in the private window. So make sure you are, whenever you are going to log in your practice, try to open with private window.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Pratap.
Okay, I am using this in Gmail ID for the first time, but it is saying password is incorrect and asking to reset it now. So the Gmail password which I gave is saying it is incorrect.
No, you are using which pass? You are giving a password for your account or for your Gmail ID?
I am giving my Gmail account password, and this is the first time I am using this email ID in Azure account.
You are trying to directly log in it, or you are trying to create your account, Pratap?
No, the first step you mentioned, right, to create Azure account, start free. So
yes,
there
click on start free. Then you need to click on create one.
Create one.
You need to click on create one to create your account. If you're directly entering your email ID, it means you're trying to log in it. This is sign in option. But Pratap, we need to create an account first, then we can sign in. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Clear, Pratap?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Anyone have any more questions? Okay. So this is how we can create your account. Yes, Shekhar, you can unmute.
Ankit, I already have an account. I created long back actually, but the subscription I don't have any amount in that balance.
So because that amount which you are getting, Shekhar, that is only for 30 days.
Okay.
If you are not using those credit, automatically those credits going to expire after 30 days.
Now can use right same account and
if it's not older than 12 months, then I'm suggesting you to use. You can use the same one.
Okay. How I can see that is older than where I have to see that already I am open the account where I can see
there is nothing like this mentioned that on which date we have created this account. There is no date mentioned in Azure account.
Okay.
So you need to check your email because whenever you're going to create account, you got an email from Azure side also on that email.
Uh-huh.
So you can check from there. If your account is older than 12 months, then you can create a new account and you can't use the same card details. You need to use a different card details.
No, we can continue this account, right? Also.
Yes, you can continue. If it's even older than 12 months also, then also you can continue, but you will get a bill for that, for everything.
Okay. We cannot use free like that free something, right?
No,
Free time.
that free one is only for first the quota is for 30 days, the credit which we are getting it, and the quota which we are getting, that is for 12 months.
Okay.
So if your account is older than 12 months, definitely they are going to send a bill for each and everything.
Okay.
Okay, Shekhar?
Okay.
Yes, Suresh.
I created the account, like I entered the email ID, my email ID. It's saying that your account is already exist. So then I use the same like the email ID, and I gave my credit card details. So like, but I don't see any credit on my account. Where you see credit?
When you have created your account.
I don't remember. Maybe I might have used created maybe like the, but I don't see any like the like. Can you show me like the in your here
Just few
screen where
minutes.
you
Just few minutes before I said that the credit which you are getting only for 30 days.
Okay.
If you are not using those credit within 30 days, that credit is going to expire.
Okay.
So they are
So in the
saying that
case
your
like
account is
the
older than 30 days, definitely that credit is expire. After that, you have 12 months free quota.
Okay.
So
So
if
in
you,
case it's better to create a new email ID and use that email ID for creating the account.
you can do like this also, but make sure you're not going to use the same card details.
Okay.
If you are going to use same card details, they identify, they will not give you that credit of 15,800.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Okay. Now, once we create our account, we can go to marketplace. What is this marketplace we have? Marketplace is an online store in Azure we have. Where is it? Where you can see all your Azure services. You can see here, or whatever the third-party companies is having link with Azure, they have tie-up with Azure. We can see that also based on the category wise on the left hand side. Here we are. This is one option. You can directly go to marketplace and you can see those details as per the category wise. Or in here we have an option, we can search about the marketplace also. Or even we have an option, we can put filters. By using these options, we can put filters also. Or if you just want to see only Azure services, we can see that also. So just check this checkbox. It is only showing you whatever the Azure services we have, we are able to see. Here. To use this Azure service, even directly, you can search that particular Azure service also here. Like I want to go to virtual machine. So I can search here. Was VI just a type? Here I'm going. Virtual machine. Virtual network. Here we are. It's not mandated to every time come to marketplace, but marketplace is a location where you can find all Azure services also, or whatever the tie-ups which Azure has done with third-party companies. That particular company details also you will find under our marketplace. Next thing. Next thing is subscription. Whenever we are creating our account, we are getting one subscription. But is subscription is mandatory? Yes, subscription is mandatory. Without subscription, it is impossible to create anything in our Azure account. Without subscription, you can't create anything in your Azure account. So subscription is mandatory, and it is mandatory that status always needs to be show us as active. If you are getting some other status, you are not able to create your resources. Now, whenever we are going to create our Azure account with subscription, we are getting one more thing called tenant. Now, what is this tenant? Tenant is also called as custom domain. So the first thing after subscription, what system is automatically assigning us is tenant. And where we can see this particular tenant? In a service called Azure Active Directory. Now we are under our Azure Active Directory service, and here we are able to see. Primary domain, it is also called as, not custom domain. Here. Here is my tenant, which I'm able to see here. So how system has created this tenant? The email ID which I'm using, dot on Microsoft dot. Email ID dot on Microsoft.com. They are using here to create our tenant. Now, what is the use of tenant? Tenant is used whenever we want to create more users in our Azure account. Whenever we want to create more users in our Azure account, at that time this tenant is required. But why we need to create more users? Because right now we have just created only one single account. Are we going to create more Azure account in real time? No. In real time, we have just only one Azure account. But to use that one single Azure account, we'll create users under our Azure. We will create more users under our Azure accounts, and to create those users, we need this tenant. In one single Azure account, we can create maximum 5,000 tenants. We can create. And here, if you see on the left-hand side, here we have an option of users. And here you are going to see 2 users. This is the default user which we have, Microsoft account. The other user which you are able to, this is a user which I have created for some other training which I'm taking right now for Azure DevOps. For that one, I have created. That is why it is showing identities as our tenant ID. So to create these users, we need these tenant. So that is why if you see here, the first thing what is coming is Azure Active Directory. And then after Azure Active Directory, we are getting it subscription. After Azure Active Directory service, we are getting it subscription. Under our subscription, what we are going to create? We are going to create resource group. What is resource group? We'll discuss in our upcoming session. And after resource group, what we are going to create? We are going to create resources. Resources means database, virtual machine, virtual network, storage account, whatever the services we have it in Azure, we are going to create those in our resource group. Without resource group, it is impossible to create these resources. It is mandatory to have resource group to create these resources. So the first thing is coming our Azure Active Directory, then subscription, then resource group, and then our resources which we are going to create in our upcoming session. Right now, just to start our training, we are going to discuss about this part till now. Right now, we are going to discuss only this part. We have a subscription. Under our subscription, I'm going to create resource group, and then I'm going to create virtual machine. Regarding the upper part, how we can create our own tenant, how we can create users, how we can create groups, all these things we will learn in our upcoming session when we'll come to a service called Azure Active Directory. So this is the part we are going to start with our training first. And we can have 3 types of subscriptions we can get. One is free trial, pay as you go, or if you want, you can get a subscription from Azure also. In this one, you will get some free quota also from their side. You can pay in advance to Azure also. Then also they will assign that particular subscription to you, or under your subscription, they are going to add that particular free quota, because whatever the subscription we are getting it, for every subscription is having it one ID. See here, this is my subscription. So clients can pay in advance to Azure also to get discounts from their side also. So that type of subscription is called as support subscription, or you can call it as members offer. The offers which Azure is providing to their customers. But yes, for this one, you need to have some tie-up with them. You need to give some assurance that we are going to use this much of services, or we are giving that some other insurances to them. So based on that, they are giving some discount to us. So this is what we have about subscription also. So we have 3 types of subscription, and this is the complete process which you are going to see slowly in our upcoming session. Yes, Suresh, you can unmute.
Just a quick question. And so like the subscription base, like usually like for each organization, there'll be only one subscription, right? Suppose like
it can be one subscription. If your client want multiple subscription, they can take multiple subscriptions also.
So what is the use of
usually like it is only one subscription.
Yeah.
Usually it is only one subscription, but if they want, it is possible we can get multiple subscriptions also.
Okay, but what is the use for multiple? So usually like you said for one subscription, there is a 5,000 tenants, right?
That is why, Suresh, before asking this question, I said that usually we have only one subscription, but it is possible we can have multiple also.
Okay. Suppose if more than 5,000, then we need a multiple subscription, because you said like the one subscription had like the only 5,000 users, something like that, right?
Not 5,000 users, tenants. We can create unlimited users. There is no limit. Okay.
Sure.
Yes, Jani, you can unmute.
So it means that with one ID, that is a unique email address, we can create the multiple tenant, right?
5,000 tenants we can create, and under one single tenant, you can create unlimited users.
Okay, so per ID, there will be a 5,000 tenant. Under that, we can create a multiple one, right?
Correct. Now I'll give you a reason why company need create multiple tenant. I'll talk about a company called Tata. Tata company is having multiple divisions. They have Tata Motors, Tata Steel, TCS. Let's example, for all the divisions, they are using Azure account.
Okay.
So they don't need to create different Azure account. They can use one single Azure account, and under that they can create their different tenants. For Tata Motors, one tenant, Tata Steel, one tenant. For the TCS, they can create one tenant. And under those particular tenant, they can create users. Like this, they can do.
So that user can be the multiple users, right? N
Yes.
number of users.
And one user is only assigned to one single tenant. One user we can't assign to multiple tenants.
Okay. So if it is a 10 tenant, then it will be the 10 users.
We can create for one person, if you want that if he can access all those things, then yes, you need to create 10 users.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Anyone have any more questions? Okay. So we are going to start learning about our first Azure service called virtual machine. In short form, we can call it as VM, but the full form is virtual machine. Now, anyone can tell me what is virtual machine? Whatever you know, don't worry if it's incorrect, also we'll correct you. Yes, Suresh.
It's a kind of system, but it's a kind of remote system. Like the virtual machine is like it is same as a physical machine, like it is a CPU, memory, everything, but it's not like the on your local. It's like the remote somewhere on the cloud.
Correct. Correct. Whatever is said is 100% correct. Yes, Johnny, you can also unmute.
So virtual machine is like where we use a particular private network. It might be in the organization or in any connection which we use.
It is also correct.
Hmm.
Okay.
Might be the server or any other network which you use to connect with this Azure.
Correct. Okay, now we'll learn about what is virtual machine. But what is virtual machine? Virtual machine is like a same computer to us. Like the laptop which I'm using, the computer which I'm using it, that particular type of computer, or we can call it a server, we can create in Azure infrastructure. On Azure infrastructure, we can create. So if I create a same type of computer, the computer which I'm using right now, that particular computer is called as virtual machines. The same type of computer I can create in Azure infrastructure, and that computer is called as Azure virtual machine. And where we are going to create this one? On Azure infrastructure. And which type of operating system it supports? Here are the list of operating system which is supporting in Azure. Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, CentOS, Debian, and Oracle. To create our virtual machine, I need to first log into my Azure account, which we have already done. Now I've already logged into my Azure. Go to virtual machine. If you see here in my Azure account, here I am able to see the virtual machine. Why I'm able to see here virtual machine? Because I've recently used this particular service for my other batches. I have used it. So in the top, I'm able to see the recently visited services. If you are not able to see in your recently visited one, you can go to search here virtual machine. Here. Click on create Azure virtual machine. Now, if you see here, what is the first thing they have selected? Our subscription. This is the subscription which they have selected. So that is what I have told you. To create any resource in Azure, what is the first thing we require? We need subscription. That is the diagram which I have shown you just few minutes before. This one. We are learning about this part right now. So the first thing what we need, subscription. After subscription, what we need, resource group. See here. What is the next step? We need resource group. And after our resource group, we can create our virtual machine. Now, what is resource group? So to create virtual machine, I need to create resource group first. Resource group is like a container which hold all the resources which we are going to create in Azure. So resource group is one centralized location. Whatever we are going to create in Azure, we can see in our resource. Like you want to see what are the database, storage account, virtual network or virtual machine you have created. You don't need to go to that particular service. Resource group is one centralized location where you can see all your resources which you have created in your Azure account. So resource group is like a container which store all your resources in one single location. So that is why before creation of any resource, first we need to select a resource group. But we need to follow some points. Resources can only exist in our resource group. Without resource group, you can't create virtual machine. Because if you see here, it is mentioned as star. Star means mandatory. Star means mandatory. So it is a mandatory field. We need to select a resource. And you can see here, I don't have any resource. Resource group cannot be renamed. Once you create a resource group, you can't change the name of your resource. Groups can have resources of many different types. Different types means different services. In one single resource group, you can create virtual machine also, you can create virtual network also, you can create IP address also, you can create storage account also. Any Azure service which you want to create under your resource group, you can create that. Groups can have resources from many different regions also. Now, this point which I'm discussing here, this point we are not practically seeing in real time also, even in practice also, we are not going to see this one. But this point is important for your interview. Why this is important for your interview? Now, I can create a resource group in any other region. And under this resource group, I can create a virtual machine which is in another region. Practically, it is possible, but we are not going to follow these steps even while practice also. Even in real time also, we are not going to do that. Why? Because of this particular issue, we'll face some latencies issue. If your resource group in another region, your resource is in another region, we'll find some latencies issues. And in real time, we don't want those latency issues. While practice, if you want to try, you can try that also. But it is not suggested in real time. Now, so I can click on create new. If I click on create new, I just need to give the name and click on OK. This is one location to create a resource. I'll go to home page. You can see here I'm able to see resource groups also. Here also I'm able to see resource group. Or you can search also. I'll go to resource group. See, I don't have a resource group here right now. I'm going to create a resource. So click on create. And creation of resource group is not chargeable. Resource group is completely free of cost. Even your account is under for 30 days or after 30 days also. Now, subscription, give your resource group name. Resource group name, you can give any name. I'll give the name as group 149. Done. Now we need to select a region. In which region we want to create this particular resource. I'm going to use Central India. Review plus create. Validation. Whenever we are going to click on review plus create, for each and everything, Azure is first checking the validation. Means whatever the details we have given, it is correct or not. They are validating it. Then we are going to click on create. So we have created our resource group and we are able to see our resource group. Here we are able to see our subscription. And here we are able to see the location. Now again, I'm going to virtual machine. Create. Now you can see here, we are able to see our resource. Done. Now, in this particular option, we have multiple options. To create this virtual machine, we have multiple options, but right now we are only going to discuss about the mandatory fields. In our upcoming session, we'll discuss about some other options slowly. Give the name of your virtual machine. Virtual machine name can be any name. PM 140. Now, I have a question for you guys. Whenever we are purchasing any laptop or a computer, what are the basic things we are checking in that particular computer? Very basic things. Don't go in much more. Basic thing. You can send me your answers in the chat box. What are the basic things we are checking whenever we are purchasing any computer or a laptop? Correct. We are checking RAM. We are checking hard disk. Correct. CPU. And one more thing is operating system. These are the very basic thing every person is going to check whenever we are purchasing any computer. So it means to create this particular virtual machine also, we need to select this RAM, hard disk, CPU, and operating system. Without these four things, it is impossible to create a virtual machine also. So here is the virtual machine name. In which region I'm going to create? By default, it is taking Central India. So here are the other regions which I'm getting. I'm going with my default region, Central India. Scroll down. So we have given the name, we have given the region. These are not mandatory fields, so I'm going to skip these options as a test. I'm not changing anything. Next thing is image. In our daily basis, in our normal language, we call it as operating system. But in Azure, it is called as image. In our daily basis, we call it as operating system. But in Azure, it is called as image. So here we need to select a operating system. Now, which operating system should I select here? See here. I'm getting Windows Server 2022, 2019, 2016. And in the bracket, it is clearly mentioned these are free service eligible. We have more also. If you want to see more, we can see that also. See, when I click on more, we'll move to marketplace again. Here I'm getting. We are getting it. But make sure whenever you're doing practice, you're always selecting the free tier eligible. So right now we are creating about Windows virtual machine. So it means we need to select Windows one. So I'm going to select from the list which I'm getting it. I'm going to select this Windows Server 2020. We have selected that particular image here. It means we have selected our operating system. Now, and guys, I have already informed you that only right now we are going to focus on mandatory field. On one single day, sorry, it is not possible for me to explain each and every single thing. So those options are not mandatory. I'm not going to explain these options right now. These options we will discuss in our upcoming session. It is not possible for me to explain each and everything. It is not possible for you guys to understand each and everything in one single day. So regarding these fields which are not mandatory, I am not going to explain right now. We will learn slowly in our upcoming sessions. Based on the topic to topic, I'm going to discuss about these options. Now, so we have selected our operating system as Windows. Scroll down. Now, next thing is we need to select RAM and hard disk. To select an RAM and hard disk, we need to select the size of our virtual machine. And by default, which size is showing us? B1S. If you might be remember in previous last session, when I'm showing you some free tier details, that time I've shown you with virtual machine, we are getting it 750 hours per month. B1S type. So even if you see here, it is clearly mentioned free services eligible. We have other types also. See here. See all sizes. Here I'm getting. If I'm selecting B1S, how much CPU will get? 1 CPU. How much RAM we will get? 1. If you want to select bigger size, you can select that also. But only B1S type is coming under free tier eligible. Other than that, whatever the types we have here, if I scroll down, we are getting it more types. See, I'm getting it more types also. Here are. But those are not coming under your free tier also. And whenever we are going to select B1S type, we are getting it 4 GB of the temporary storage from their side. Temporary storage also we are getting it from their side. So I'm going to select B1S. So how much CPU and RAM will get? 1 CPU, 1 GB of RAM. And we got operating system as Windows 2020. Now, scroll down. Here we need to give our username and password. You can't give every word as a username because if you see here, Azure has reserved some words which we can't use as our username. You can see I've given a username as admin. So there are some usernames they have blocked like root, super user, admin. These type of words we have given. Next step. So here I'm giving it by username as Azure user. Now here we need to give the password. Your password must be minimum 12 characters and maximum 123 characters long. So here I'm giving my password. And when you are giving the password, one lowercase, one uppercase, one number, and one special character. So out of these four things, you need to follow 3 minimum. Done. So I've given the password here. Size, we have selected username and password. And these are the rules which we need to follow for password. Now, enable RDP. Now, what is this RDP? Scroll down, see here. By default, system is enabling RDP port here. Now, what is this RDP port? To connect any Windows machine. To connect any Windows machine, right now we are creating a Windows machine. It is mandatory to enable RDP port. If we are not going to enable this particular port number, it is impossible to connect our Windows machine. Because after creation of our machine, what is the next step? We need to connect to this particular machine. And if we are not able to connect to this machine, there is no use of creation of this particular machine. So after creation of this machine, we need to connect to this machine. How to connect? We will learn that also in our upcoming session. And to connect our Windows machine, it is mandatory to enable a port number RD. And same if you want to connect Linux machine, for that one we have a port number SSH port number. Regarding Linux one, you will see in the next session when we are going to learn about how to create a Linux machine also. Right now for Windows machine, we need to enable RDP. And anyone knows the port number for RDP? You can please confirm in the chat box if you know. Correct. The correct answer is 338. Even if you see here, Azure portal, we have clearly mentioned 338. So by default, Azure is enabling that particular port number because they are aware of that. To connect to this machine, it is mandatory to enable this port number. So we have selected all the mandatory fields here. We have select subscription, resource group, name, region, image, size, username, password, and the port number. Now click on next. Next means disk. And here we are getting it, the hard disk. Here we are getting the hard disk, OS disk, like a C drive which we are getting. And when we are creating our Windows EC2 machine, Windows virtual machine, by default, they are giving us 127 GB plus for our OS disk, like we can call it C drive. By default, they are giving us 127 GB. Other than that, if you see, we have more tabs. We have a networking tab, management, monitoring, advanced, tags. Regarding these tabs, we will learn in our upcoming session. So right now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to directly click on Review Plus. So I'm just clicking on next, or you can directly click on Review Plus Create also. Now, when I click on Review Plus Create, here I'm getting as validation passed. And then click on Create. Now, we are able to create our Windows virtual machine. And if you see here, when system is creating our virtual machine, with this virtual machine, system is going to create some more things also. But our sync system is creating network interface, NSG, public address, virtual machine, virtual network. It is creating other things also. What is this NSG, public IP address, what other thing we'll discuss in our upcoming sessions. Taking some time to create our machine. Still in process. Still taking. Okay. Once our virtual machine will get ready, we need to connect to this machine. How we can connect to this machine? In your Windows machine, we have a by default tool called remote desktop connection. With the help of this particular tool, we can connect to our Windows machine. Now our machine is ready. Click on Go to Resource. You can see when I click on Go to Resource, I'm in my virtual machine. I'll go to Home page. I can go to Virtual Machine. And here I'm able to see virtual machine. Click on the name of your virtual machine. Here I'm able to see the operating system we have used, the size which we have used here. Here on left hand side, we have option called disk. 127 GB we are getting here. Here we have option called size. There I'm able to see all the sizes here. Which one we have choose? We have choose B1S. That we are able to see here. So the machine which we have created, we are able to see. Now we need to connect to this particular machine. To connect to this particular machine, copy the public IP address of our machine. Yes. So I'm just going to note down the public. Open remote desktop connection. Enter the public. Done. Click on show options. Enter your username. Click on connect. Click on connect. Enter your password. Enter. Yes. Then we are able to connect to our Windows virtual machine. So this is how we can create our virtual machine and we can connect to our virtual machine also. Windows machine will take some time to load. So any question anyone have now, please let. Yes, Uma, you can unmute.
Yeah, I already asked my question in our chat. You given the answer also.
Okay. Yes, Pratap.
Ankit, actually, I follow the same steps, but my mission creation got failed at the network issue.
Sometimes happen it, so you can do one thing, go to one of the previous step, again click on review plus create. Sometimes
Okay.
you are following it little faster. That time you get some error message. So go back to one of the previous step, again click on review plus create. They validate your details again and do that.
Okay, let me try. Thank you.
Yes, Subbu, you can unmute.
Yeah, Ankit, the IP address is automatically assigned to the Azure candidates or any?
It is automatically assigned.
Yeah, okay.
Because we are getting actually two IP addresses. One is public, other one is private.
Okay.
How we get this private IP, we will learn in our upcoming session. Public IP address system is automatically assigning to the machines.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Yes, Vikram. Vikram, you have raised your hand to ask your question. You need to unmute. Okay. Now, if you see here my screen, here I'm able to see the C drive. And here I'm able to see one temporary storage of 4 GB, 3.99 GB. It is actually 4 GB we are getting. But what is this temporary storage? How we are getting this temporary storage? We are getting this temporary storage because we have selected the type as B1S. Because of this particular type, Azure is giving us 4 GB of additional space to us. This space is not including under that 127 additional space we are getting it, and it is not recommended to store any of your data in this particular disk. In this particular drive, don't store your data. If you store, might be you will lose your data. But why they are providing this additional space to us? Because whenever we are using any machine, system is generating some caches, and because of that caches, our original hard disk space is getting utilized. So that is why they are providing some additional hard disk space to us, so that our original space which we have allocated to do our work, it is not going to utilize. So for a type B1S, they are allocating us 4 GB of this space. If you're going to see some other size, let's say I'm going to see this size D2AS underscore V4. For this one, they are providing us 16 GB of the storage. For DS1 underscore V2, they are providing us 7 GB of the temporary storage. We are getting. So we have selected size B1S. Because of that, we are getting is 4 GB of the temporary storage. And in this one, it is clearly mentioned from Azure Don't store your data. If you store, might be you will lose your data, and that particular data, it is impossible to recover. Even you have taken a backup of your virtual machine, this particular drive is not coming under your backup. So don't store your data under this particular temporary storage. So this is how we can create our virtual machine and connect to our virtual machine. Now, after your practice, what you need to do? You need to delete this particular machine. We have an option. I can delete this particular single virtual machine. How can I delete? Select that particular virtual machine. Click on delete. Type as delete and click on delete. This is one option to delete this virtual machine. Other option is go to your resource group. This is a resource group which we have created. Go to that particular resource group. Under this resource group, you are able to see how many resources? 6 resources. Did we create 6 resources? No. We have just created virtual machine. But with virtual machine, system is creating some more resources also. I need to delete these resources also. The first option is you can go to that particular resource and delete these resources. Second option is if you delete this resource group, under this resource group, whatever the resources you have, system will delete all your resources. So here we have an option of delete resource group. And then enter the name of your resource group. So I've copied the name from here, pasted here, click on delete. After a few minutes, system is going to delete your resource group, and till that time your resource group is not going to delete. Make sure you are not going to close your browser. And whenever we are creating virtual machine, system is creating one more resource group here, network watcher RG. What is this network watcher? We are going to discuss in our upcoming session. We have a separate topic about network watcher service. So at that time, we will discuss about network watcher service. So this resource group also you can delete. Delete. So after a few minutes, system is going to delete both the resource group, and I'm repeating again. Till that time, your resource group is not going to delete. Make sure you are not going to close your browser. So this is how you can create your virtual resource group, virtual machine. You can connect your virtual machine and you can delete your virtual. Any question anyone have? Please let me know. Yes, Vikram.
Hi, Ankit, actually, this is
Vikram, I'm not able to hear you.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes, Vikram.
Yeah, this is my first section. Actually, my concern is actually I'm a Windows developer. Last since a couple of years, I'm having 12 years of experience, but I need to change my platform in the Azure side. Could you just tell us that this one is the best choosing Azure 104 and DevOps? Actually, I'm planning. What was the ratio for the job opportunities and the packages? These are my
No, first of all, Vikram, I'm not aware of the packages because packages depend on company to company.
Okay.
Okay, and job opportunities are more as compared to other opportunities which we have in Azure.
Okay.
In Azure, admin plus DevOps having more opportunities.
Okay, one company, one simple question. As a developer, we having n number of one project is allocated to n number of developers. Okay, same thing in Azure DevOps and Azure admin. How many members in the one project?
Depend on the project size.
No. Generally, at least one member is totally taking care.
It can be might be 50 members. It can be 10 members also. Depend on project to project size.
Yeah, minimum one place more. No, my thought is maybe admin means only the one guy is maintaining like that. in
No,
my
no, no. There
opinion.
is not one person, because in real time, you are not the only person who's going to work. And we are going to learn 20 services. You are
Yeah.
not the only person who's going to work on all 20 services. They assign only 2-3 services. You are only going to work on 2-3 services.
Oh.
You're not going to work on all, whatever you are learning in this training. It doesn't mean that in real time you are going to work on all services. No. They'll assign that few services. You only work on those few services.
Okay.
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 Anyone have any more questions? Yes, Amit. Amit Singh, I'm not able to hear you.
Purchase your video, so now from today I got the recording and all the videos.
Amit, sorry, can you please repeat your question? Amit, can you please repeat your question?
Am I audible?
Yes, Amit.
Hello.
Yes, Amit, I'm able to hear you. You can please repeat your question. Amit, I'm able to hear you. You can please repeat your question. Amit, are you able to hear me? Look like Samit, you have some issue with your one. Yes, I'm able to hear you. Amit, look like you have some issue. You can please email me your question.
Hello.
Yes, Amit, are you able to hear me? Amit, look like you have some issue. You can please email me your question. Okay. Anyone have any question? Okay. Look like no one has any question. So with this, I'm going to end this session. In tomorrow's session, we are going to learn about how we can create a Linux virtual machine. So we have for Linux, we have two options. One is password, other one is SSH key option. We are going to learn about both. Thank you all. Thank you for joining today's session. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Thank you.